Alrighty guys, hello and welcome back to another video. So it's going to be a shorter one today, but I got a couple of questions on the stream that I released, or well, not released, but the stream that I ran last night on what my templates are as far as like how I actually play the game. And a lot of you guys were noticing that like I'll select my commander and I'll like go through a hotkey of like a series of templates. And this is dependent on what kind of tier your commander is at. So it's going to be a shorter video, but I want to walk you guys through what templates I have and how to actually set them up. So let's get into it. Okay, starting off. So I have this bound to my W hotkey. So whenever I push W, it'll cycle through all the various templates that I have available to me. If you guys want to see how I have my hotkeys set up, I did a video about several months back. I'll link it down in the description below, but it'll go through all of the hotkeys that I use. I think I still use pretty much all the same hotkeys. I don't think I've edited any of them, but that is where you guys can go and see how I have my hotkeys set up. But I have my templates bound to W, and that will allow me to go through all of these preformed templates of buildings. So the reason why you do templates is it can allow you to set up large arrays of buildings or buildings that might require zooming in a little bit more and some more micromanagement very quickly whenever your actions per minute could be spent better elsewhere. So what you've got on here are some of the templates that I use. I actually have not saved these two up at the top, so we're going to walk through that as an exercise on how you actually create and save your templates. So the way that I walk through this is I load into a flat map. So this map is 1mex. You'll see some 1mex games started every now and then, but I load into a flat map so that I can actually set up all of the individual templates. So we'll walk through each one individually and why I have them set up. So we're going to start with the 4 factories. Now, there is a little square here in the middle that allows for a mechs to be built between these factories. And it'll make a little bit more sense here. So you can see there is a little square there in the middle of the factories. These are designed to be built around a mass extraction point. The reason why you do this is because it allows all of these factories to gain adjacency bonus from that one mass extraction point, and it makes your factories much more efficient as it pertains to mass overall usage. So this is a template that I use all the time. And you guys will see this in my various ladder matches where I'm throwing this template down all over the place because I like to do T1 spam and T1 rushes. And that's just kind of the way that I like to play the game. So that's why I have this template here. Moving on to the next template, and this one is a little bit more self-explanatory. You'll see this one all over the place, but it's point defense with walls around it. So again, you tap this a couple of different times. You'll see that I automatically load the point defense with the walls around it. This one is one of those ones that is very difficult to set up if you're doing this manually because you've got to select the point defense and then you've got to select the actual walls around it. So doing the template method allows for this to be created much more quickly and much more easily. Next one, it kind of falls into the same vein, but it's a T2 installation. So we've got a Gunther with T1 power generators around it. And by the way, this will work regardless of which faction you are. I'm just doing Cybran on this one, but and the reason why this one is cool is you can take the Gunther with the 4 power generators and you can build it, load the next template, and it won't overwrite these 2 power generators, but it will still build the Gunther and the 4 P-gens. So it makes it so that you can kind of layer this on top of itself however much you need to, for whatever fire base you're actually building. And as your commander actually goes through the kind of build process, knock out these power generators, go to work on the next Gunther, then I'll take out these 2 power generators, etc., and then it ends up scaling. So it's a great way to kind of take this little template and adapt it to whatever fire base you're going for if you want to go for T2 artillery with T1 power generators supporting it. The next one that we're going to go over is a T3 kind of template. So I don't use this one near as much as I should, but it is a T3 mass fabricator that's shielded with power generators flanking it. So reason why I did this way is these T3 mass fabricators gain a lot of adjacency bonus from these T3 power plants, and it's shielded. So it's a good, easy to repeat kind of template if you're in a super late game scenario and you actually need mass fabrication, and you don't want to actually go into RAS commanders. Maybe you're playing Seraphim, you don't have RAS commanders available to you, but this is still a good template. I think even in civilizations or factions that you have RAS commanders available to you. So moving on to the kind of artillery template that I use. So this one, same kind of thing. All of these are built around adjacency bonus. So you got 4 T3 power generators, all with adjacency on to this disruptor. This allows for the disruptor to fire faster, and the shields are going to have a little bit better power usage, or have less power usage because of their adjacency to the T3 power generators. So again, another good one to throw down in late game. Last one we're going to look at is one that I really should use a lot more of, as our commander is still building our little Gunther project over here, but it's a ring of T1 power generators. And the reason why I have this is because this is exactly the size that a factory can fit in. So if you're wanting to ring, especially an air factory with T1 power generators, this is a great template to use to allow you to ring an air factory with T1 power generators, get a lot of good adjacency bonuses off of that without having to manually draw all of the T1 power generators off of it. So this is a template that I have saved actually for several other factions, but I don't have saved for Cybran because I quite simply forgot whenever I was making my Cybran template. So let's walk through what the actual save process is. So you load into a map like flat, you build whatever template you actually want, whether it's the Gunther template or the artillery template or whatever other template that you would like to build. You don't necessarily have to use the ones that I'm illustrating to you here. These are just the ones that I use. Build it out, and then you click on this little button down here that says Save Template. So once you save the template, you go back to your commander, and you will have the template actually loaded within your cube. And so you can bind this to whatever hotkey you would like, and then you can cycle to said template. So instead of having to manually draw these out, which because my comm is T3, can take a good amount of time. Instead of doing something like that, I can just go, bam, drop it around a factory or build the factory later, and then the commander or engineers will knock that out for you automatically. So these are great ways to save actions per minute within a game. It's something that takes a little bit of preparation towards the beginning, but it can save you a lot of time in the long run. I love all of my templates, and I use them ad nauseum in a lot of my games, which is, I think, where the kind of the questions came from during my stream last night. So wanted to make this very, very short, quick tutorial for you guys on how to set these up, show you guys what templates that I use. Let me know down in the comments what templates you guys use, and I would be more than happy to, if they're good templates and I can work them into my lineup. I would love to hear some of y'all's input as well as critique on any of the templates that I have built out. So that's it for today, guys. I really hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.